Nigeria has seen its fair share of violent cult groups, from the deadly Eye confraternity to the notorious Black Axe confraternity. These organizations have terrorized communities across the country with guns, machetes, and battle axes. But between 2016 and 2018, the city of Ikorodu in Lagos State, Nigeria, witnessed something far more terrifying than anything they had ever encountered before. The Badoo cult gang was unlike any other criminal group Nigeria had seen. They did not carry guns or machetes like other cult groups usually do. Instead, they used grinding stones, mortars, and pestles to end the lives of their victims, and in a manner that would create a terrible nightmare for whoever sees the crime scene after the attack. But what made them even more terrifying was the bizarre ritual they performed after launching a successful attack on their victims. This is the horrifying story of the Badoo gang, a group of ritualists who used primitive weapons like grinding stones and pestles to terrorize the residents of Ikorodu, Lagos State, Nigeria between 2016 and 2018, thereby resulting in the tragic death of over 25 people and the lynching of many by angry residents. It was around 1:40 in the morning on June 5, 2016, when a security guard heard the screams that would mark the beginning of Ikorodu's darkest chapter. He was on his usual patrol around the Okeota area in Ibeshe when the loud screams of a woman almost injured his eardrum. The security guard quickly rode his motorcycle toward the sound with his torchlight in hand. As he approached the gate of the compound where the screams were coming from, he flashed his light and then saw the shadow of a man. The moment the light beamed on the intruder, the man bent low and ran into the darkness, escaping before the security guard could react. The security guard struggled to open the gate while also calling for backup from other security personnel in the area. When help arrived and they finally managed to get inside, they discovered a scene that would haunt them forever. Mrs. Grace Jubril, a 27-year-old teacher at Methodist Primary School, lay naked with a serious injury on her body. Her 14-month-old daughter was crying nearby, but without any form of physical injury on the body. The attackers had dragged Mrs. Jubril from her room to the compound, where they had brutally violated and also assaulted her. The security men found a stone and a plier, which they believed to be the deadly weapons used in the attack, lying on the floor. The attackers' bloody palm print was also clearly visible on the wall, showing the level of violence that had taken place. The vigilantes and security guards rushed Mrs. Jubril to a nearby hospital, but she was quickly transferred to Ikorodu General Hospital, where doctors fought hard to save her life. Despite receiving blood transfusions and medical care, she died just 20 minutes after arriving at Lagos State University Teaching Hospital, where she had been taken for advanced treatment. A suspect, identified simply as Badoo, was arrested in connection to the crime. At first, everyone believed this was just another case of robbery and violation that had gone wrong. The police began investigating, and the community was shocked, but not yet aware that this was just the beginning of something far more terrifying. What they didn't know was that this attack would be the first of many that would follow the same horrifying pattern. They may have thought that by arresting the suspect known as Badoo, the criminal activity would end. But over the following months, the attacks would continue with a terrifying regularity. Each time, the pattern was the same. Attackers would break into homes in the dead of night, usually between 1 a.m. and 3 a.m., and crush their victims' skulls with grinding stones or mortars. On July 9, 2016, just over a month after Mrs. Jubril's death, the attackers struck again. This time, they targeted 60-year-old Francisca in the same Okeota area. She was seriously injured in the attack, but was lucky enough to survive. Her 10-year-old daughter, Marvelous, was not so fortunate. The attacker stabbed her in the eyes, leaving her permanently blind. 2 weeks later, on July 23, 2016, the cult committed one of the most shocking crimes yet. During a night vigil at a church in Ibeshe, they lured and kidnapped an 8-year-old girl. She was subsequently violated and then left in a coma. When angry residents caught one of the suspected attackers, they lynched him on the spot. The attacks continued throughout 2016 and into 2017. In October 2016, a pregnant woman was murdered in the Oluweye area of Ikorodu. Her husband and 2 daughters were badly injured, but luckily, they survived. In December 2016, 2 siblings were killed together in their home within the same Ikorodu. By March 2017, things got so bad that entire families were being wiped out. On March 1, 2017, attackers broke into a home in Agbowa and killed a mother and her 3 young children. All 4 family members died instantly from their injuries. Another devastating attack occurred on May 4, 2017, in the Adamo area of Ikorodu. The Agbaje family was sleeping when the attackers broke in. Agbaje, his wife, and 2 children were killed on the spot. 4 members of the 6-person family died that night, leaving only 2 survivors. On May 30, 2017, another family massacre occurred in a different area of Ikorodu. Israel Ulusanya, his pregnant wife Rukayat, and their 2 daughters were all found dead. All those attacks were devastating, but the most shocking attack came on July 7, 2017, when the Badoo gang targeted a place that should have been sacred and safe. During a night vigil at the Crystal Church of God in Ikorodu, attackers broke into the church and killed 4 worshippers using their trademark grinding stones. The victims included 2 women and 2 children, sending shockwaves through the religious community.
I think they had vigil all night. So while they were sleeping, others have gone to sleep, some slept, I don't know. So it was just this morning they just called me, and getting there I met them a pool of blood. I had to do the first aid, which is as in the first thing to just rescue them while they are still moving. They are not dead yet, so I had to rescue them. We took them to the nearby hospital. From there, we moved them to the general hospital.
Style is the same, the method, everything is the same. Smashing of people with big things like mortars and the rest, and blood flowing all over the place. So we saw them in pool of blood, and it's similar to what happened exactly.
In total, between 2016 and 2017, the Badoo court was responsible for at least 26 confirmed murders in the Ikorodu area. Police estimated that more than 30 people may have died, with many more injured or traumatized by the attacks. The Badoo cult had a very specific way of choosing and attacking their victims. They did not strike randomly, since every attack was carefully planned and executed with precision that showed they had studied their targets. The cult members would first of all scout potential victims during the day. Women were often sent to gather information because they were less likely to raise suspicion in the community. These female spies would walk around neighborhoods looking for houses that appeared vulnerable, homes without burglary-proof features, those with weak doors, or located in isolated areas. They specifically targeted poor families who lived in partially completed buildings or single-room apartments. These families often could not afford proper security measures, making them easy targets for the gang. The cult members looked for houses with open windows, loose doors, or any sign that the building could be easily entered. Most attacks happened between 1 a.m. and 3 a.m. when families were deep in sleep. The attackers would spray a mysterious powder into the victims' homes. This powder made people to fall into an even deeper sleep, making it easier for the cult members to carry out their attacks without resistance. Unlike other cult groups that use guns or machetes, the Badoo cult brandished household items as weapons. They carried grinding stones, mortars and pestles, the same tools that families used to prepare food. This made their weapons not just easy to find, but also difficult to trace. Once inside a home, they would use these weapons to attack their victims, particularly in the head. The cult members would use white handkerchiefs to soak up the blood and then sell these blood-soaked handkerchiefs for ritual purposes. According to reports, each handkerchief could be sold between 500,000 naira to 1.5 million naira. The cult members would often steal small items like phones or clothing, but money was not their primary motivation. The real value was in the blood they collected and the terror they spread. Before leaving their victims' homes, they would write "I am Badoo" on walls or doors, claiming full responsibility for the attack. As the attacks continued and the death toll rose, the people of Ikorodu realized that they could not rely on the police alone to protect them. The fear had become so intense that many residents, including landlords, abandoned their homes and fled to other parts of Lagos. Those who remained decided to take matters into their own hands. Community members organized themselves into vigilante groups and began patrolling the streets at night, armed with whatever weapons they could find. The community members lit bonfires in the streets and stayed awake through the night, keeping watch for any suspicious activity that may occur. They created a network of watchmen who would alert each other if they saw anything unusual. This community policing approach made it harder for the cult members to move around freely. However, the vigilante activities also led to tragic mistakes. In their desperation to stop the killings, some community members began lynching anyone they suspected of being a Badoo cult member. Unfortunately, this led to the deaths of innocent people who were wrongly accused. The fear and paranoia had become so intense that being in the wrong place at the wrong time could cost someone their life.
Will not be sleeping this night.
No sleeping, no.
Yes,
No sleeping.
here for Badoo. Badoo, we are ready for you. So, Pastor, why are you not asleep now?
There's no way we can go to sleep when there is fire on the mountain. Yeah, so we have to be at alert.
So I want to ask you, because you being a pastor, if you catch them, will you kill them or you just quote Bible for them?
You see, this time around we will not be quoting Bible because they will not understand what the Bible says.
Okay. Why you carry this thing for us?
Protect
Actually, this is serious, but this sounds funny, but it's very serious. Nobody's sleeping anymore. Even a small child like this is not sleeping just to protect his house, and it's a serious issue.
for this area. We know they sleep again.
ṣẹgbọ́n ìgbà tí wọ́n fi street ẹ lẹ̀ tó wá bí kí lọ́mọ tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ ń bẹ̀. ẹgbọ́n kẹ́wọ̀n pọ̀ ń bí kan ní issue go to your territory.
The Lagos State Police Command initially struggled to stop the Badoo cult. The attackers seemed to know the area better than the police, and they had multiple hideouts scattered across different communities. Every time the police thought they were close to capturing them, the cult members would disappear into the thick forest or hide in uncompleted buildings.
Assure Lagosians, assure Nigerians that we will not rest until this evil is completely rooted out from Lagos State. I must state and state very clearly that the war against these hoodlums who call themselves whatever name, who go around killing families, smashing their heads, I will not relent until I have brought all of them, no matter who they are or how highly placed, to justice. That is my promise to Lagosians.
In mid-2017, the police changed their approach. They began working closely with local vigilante groups, traditional rulers, and community leaders. The Oduas People's Congress (OPC), a prominent Yoruba security group, also joined the fight against the cult. The breakthrough came when police used advanced tracking technology from their headquarters in Abuja. They were able to pinpoint the exact locations of the gang's hideouts, thereby enabling them to plan coordinated raids. On August 1, 2017, the police raided a shrine in the Agbowa community of Ikorodu. They found 5 secret graves, black figurines used for rituals, and the grinding stones that had been used in the attacks. During this raid, they arrested Alakaba Yumi, a 51-year-old businessman who was suspected of being one of the cult leaders. The most important breakthrough came in January 2018 when police discovered the gang's main shrine in Imoson village, a suburb of Ijebu-Ode in Ogun State. This shrine was where cult members would go to take oaths for protection before carrying out any attacks. On January 2, 2018, the then Lagos State Police Commissioner Imohimi Egal led a major operation that would finally end the Badoo cult's reign of terror. Acting on information from arrested cult members, the police raided the shrine in Imoson village. At the shrine, they arrested Fatai Adebayo, a 34-year-old herbalist who was the gang's main chief priest, responsible for administering oaths to gang members before they carried out any attacks. According to police investigations, no Badoo attack ever took place without cult members first of all visiting the shrine to receive blessings for protection and also perform rituals.
One of the suspects confessed, and the suspect is here, he led us here, that before they go for any killing, the head of the group brings them to this gentleman to come and carry out oaths for both themselves and this piece of stone they use for their killings, and that they don't go for any killing without first of all coming for oath in this shrine.
The police also arrested the overall head of the Badoo cult during the operation. According to the commissioner, the cult leader was caught while trying to escape by water. At the shrine, police found disturbing evidence of the cult's activities. There were various charms, ritual objects, including the grinding stones that had been blessed for use in attacks. After the arrest, the police demolished the shrine completely, ensuring that it could never be used again for ritual purposes.
He's an accomplished before the fact. So definitely I'm placing him under arrest. If we have your blessings, Kabiesi, yes. We would like to give order that the shrine be destroyed. Today, with your blessings.
Where? For me, I didn't support nonsense.
Okay.
So, permission to carry on.
Thank you very much.
Yes,
Thank you. So, we will inform the relevant authorities to ensure that.
But please, can you do the report?
Yes, please.
So, let me know the suspect here. Is that the boy?
That's the boy.
Following the breakthrough at the shrine, police launched a massive operation to arrest the remaining cult members. By the end of the operation, over 100 Badoo cult members had been arrested from various hideouts across Lagos and Ogun states. In December 2017, police had already arrested key suspects in connection with specific murders. 5 men, Chibuzo Igwe, Uche Igwe, Samuel Akaize, Gift Akaize, and the herbalist Fatai Adebayo were charged with murdering Pastor Victor Kanayo of the Redeemed Christian Church of God and attacking the Yekini family. On February 28, 2018, 6 suspected cult members, including the herbalist Fatai Adebayo, were arraigned in a magistrate court in Lagos. They faced 7 counts of conspiracy, murder, and stealing. 2 of the suspects, Chibuzo Igwe and his brother Uche Igwe, pleaded guilty to the murder charges, while the others pleaded not guilty. The court proceedings revealed disturbing details about how the cult operated. The prosecution showed that the accused had broken into victims' homes through windows, attacked them with grinding stones, and also stole items like phones and clothing. However, the legal system faced challenges in prosecuting all the suspects. Some of the arrested cult members were granted bail by the courts and subsequently went underground, never to be seen again. This made it difficult to ensure that all those responsible for the terror faced justice. By April 2018, the Lagos State Commissioner of Police was able to announce that the Badoo cult's activities had been brought to an end. The arrest of the cult leaders, the destruction of their shrine, and the dismantling of their network had effectively ended their reign of terror. Share your thoughts on this case in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel for more true crime stories.